Hey everybody, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching. So today I'm going to show you how I've made this sweet little bridge fold card. So it all folds flat. You can fold either way. You've got space on the back to be able to write your message. And this one here, I've used these sweet heart cross stitch dies. You don't need to use the dies. You can just have a nice heart shape. As long as you've got something that's going to connect to each side here, you can use anything. And I have tons of bridge cards or pillar fold cards in this playlist here. So there's loads of inspiration. But I just wanted to try out this cross stitch effect. I think it looks really sweet. And you've got the shine there from the little hearts, and then some of my accent glaze I've used on that one. You've got embossed detail there. So it's a really tactile card. This one's going to my nan. This is going to be in her hamper. So I know she's going to like this and she'll be able to feel all of the detail on it as well. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make it. So I've got this square, oval set, the circle set, which I have used. I need to take all the bits out. You can see them in there. I think I've done this as like a tiered, a layered one, but I've never done a tutorial for it. And then I've got the rectangle and then the hearts, which is what I'm using today. So I've already gone ahead. I think I'm going to do an easel card with this one. So I've cut it twice and I'm going to stick them together first using my construction glue. And then I'm going to stitch through it because I just think it's going to be a more solid piece. So run that one through twice. And then if you've got any bits left in it, if you've got something, one of these tools here, you can just rub over all the holes and it will just take it out much quicker. I'll remember to do it on the circles. I don't think I'm going to use the middle heart. I'm thinking I'm going to have acetate in the middle and then my sentiment kind of, so it looks like it's floating. That's the idea. And then you can just go over, rather than poking them all out individually, if you've again got something like this, you can just go over all of the parts there. You can see how quickly they all come out. Any stubborn ones, I just use my piercing tool. And then my trusty little Hoover, just to clean up all these pieces. So like I said, first of all, I'm going to stick these two together, and then I'm going to choose what thread or floss I want to use. And I thought I'd use the ones that came in. This is kit or box 34 from the Paper Craft Society. And it's got all of the colours that I'm using for this Valentine's series. So I think I'm going to go for those colours there. I might not even end up using the purple and just go for those three. So I've just been planning out how I want to do this. And I think I want to have not necessarily an ombre, but just the blues going up through to the pinks and then finishing with the cream at the top. So I've got 9 different colours here, and if I give each colour 3 rows, then I can get them all in. Or maybe I end up not having the cream. I think actually that comes out, so I'll just end up having them. I'm just going to see how it goes. So I'm going to take the needle that comes in the kit, but obviously any needle that you have. But this is a nice thick one, and I think it should, yeah, it fits. Yeah, it does fit through. So I've stuck those two together, and already now that's nice and strong. It's just going to be a lot easier to, you know, work as a card to hold itself up. Okay, so I've just doubled up my thread and I've popped a knot on the end. Now I'm no cross stitch genius, so I'm just going to make this up as I go along. So if anybody's watching thinking she's doing it wrong, you do it the right way. This is how I'm going to do it. So I want to go, thinking I'm going to go in there. I'm just going to start off this bottom part, and then you can see where to go. And because I want to create the cross in each kind of box, so I want to make up, so I'm going to come back up then that one. I just get this pattern kind of going. You could do this on a patterned cardstock as well. I think that would look quite nice. And then I'm going to come up to that one, go across there, and then I'm going to come down to that one, and then I'm going to go back in that one and then up there. There we go. So I'm now going to repeat that along here and then also along there. So I'm going to stop it here to just show you how I finish one colour and then move on to a next. So you can see the back's pretty neat there. What I'm actually going to do, because I don't want to create too many knots on this, so I'm just going to cut it like so, and then I'm going to add some glue and I'm going to just stick it into place. I mean, if you're popping this in a frame or something, then I would not, you know, tie a knot, but I'm just going to just stick that down. So now it's quite flat. I don't have the bulk of the knot, and that will eventually just dry there. Okay, so that's the back, but you can see the pattern I've got forming now on the front. So now I'm going to take my next colour and just thread that the same way. I'm going to take a little bit more this time because it gets wider now as I work my way up. So what I'm going to do is treat the top of this blue row here as the bottom of my next colour. So I'm going to pop this one in there. Again, exactly the same way. I need to cut off that excess actually, so I don't get that tangled up. There we go. And then I'm going to go up there like so. And now I'm going to come into this one. And then I'm going to carry on again, but I'm just going to, like I said, go into the top of that last row. So I'm not leaving any white space in between. I'm literally starting right from that blue row and then again go across. So I'm going to put this all on high speed now and you can see all of it come together. Okay, so I've done all the stitching. I've loved doing this. It's been really nice sitting down. This took me about an hour. I got stuck here, I got in a right knot, so I had to cut it and kind of, not start again, but just start those rows again. But I think I'm going to add another row or little stitch there, and possibly across there and there, just to shape that a bit more. And I think I'm going to bring this one across as well. So I'm going to add those in, and then I'm just going to add glue, even though there's a lot of glue on the back already, but I'm just going to put another final layer of glue, and then I'm going to leave that to dry, and then I'm going to get the rest of the card ready. Okay, so it's now the next day. This is how the finished heart looks, and I've added glue all on the back there, and you can hear it's gone nice and hard now, so that's definitely not coming out. I've cut another one, which I'm going to stick behind just so it's tidy. And then what I'm going to do is do a bridge fold card with this one. But you could use that now as a topper on anything. You could put it on a gift bag, on the top of a gift box. There's lots of ways to use it. So I've cut myself here this piece of, it's 11.5 by 6. And along the 11.5 side, you want to score at 1/2 inch, 1.5, 2 and 3 at both ends. So just flip it and do that again. 1/2, 1.5, 2 and 3. Okay, fold and burnish all the score lines, and then you want to add your glue all down the 1/2 inch tab at the end. You'll do this on both ends. I'll show you this side, and then you want to fold that in, and you want to lay it down next to that last almost inner score line there. Lay it down flat. So you want to have the 1/2 inch and 1 inch facing you, and then the other 1/2 inch is stuck down. If you make sure it's like that, then you know that when it pops up, you're going to have a perfect rectangle. I will just show you again on this side. So just add your glue again, like so. Fold that over, and you want to have the 1 inch and the 1/2 inch facing you. Make sure that tucks in. and then bring that up. You can bring it right back across the other way as well. Okay, and now we've got the bridge fold. So I've done this one slightly different with the 1 inch height and then the 1/2 inch width. That is now going to allow me to attach the heart perfectly across each side. The width of this heart is 5 3/4. I wanted it to kind of overhang, so the heart is the main focal point. You know, you're drawn straight away to that. This is just really a platform to display it. So I'm going to use I'm not going to use the construction glue on this because it's a solvent based glue. Over time it could well disintegrate all of the fibres in the thread. So I'm going to stick with my water based glue, but because that's really hard now, it's going to be easy for me to just cover and then attach to that other piece. Just place that one down over the top, give that a minute to dry, and then I'm going to add my glue down each side here over the area that I know is going to sit on the bridge panels. Focus on this point in the middle and then everything else will line up. And if you fold it flat, that's how it will go in your envelope. Bring it back up again, go over this side and back up again. Just check that stands. Yeah, happy with that. Okay, so you would have seen me just carry on and do more of the decorations. So I'm just going to talk you through what I've done and the measurements of a couple of the layers. So I use this embossing folder here. It's an old Leone one, Dotty Hearts, and I thought it'd be nice to have some detail on the side. So these strips here are 3/4 by the whole height of the card, so 6 inches. So I've done 4. One on each side there, and then also on the insides. I've also stuck this panel here, which is 4 1/4, I believe, yeah, by 6. And then with this original die, it cuts this inside heart. So I just cut it in this lighter, or the same card that I used here. And then I've stamped "You've Captured My Heart." And I've taken that from this stamp set of mine, which was Photo Fun. And I just thought it was a really nice sentiment. So I've put that in the middle. And then I've used the Creative Craft Products Nestable Hearts. And I've just cut a few of them out in the colours that I've used for the whole hamper. So I've got the blue there, that's on some of the other gift boxes. So when it's all together, it's all going to match. And then I think I'm just going to add a few of these tiny little glittery hearts. And I'm also going to add some of my accent glaze. Okay, so that's everything finished. You can see the glaze there, how that's drying. And then those little tiny hearts, it's just nice when they catch the light. It all stands up. And then on the back, I'm just going to cover that with a white piece of card, which I'll give you the measurements for. So I would do 5 1/4 by 5 3/4. This one will not be going flat, although it can go flat. So that's how you'd pop it in your envelope. And if you use your envelope punch board, follow the instructions for a 6 1/2 by 6, but also follow my DIY envelope and you can make custom ones. So check out those tutorials. This one I'm going to keep as it is, and it's just going to sit in the hamper with everything else. So I hope you've enjoyed this sweet little Valentine's card idea from me today. I'll link as much of the products that I've used in the description box below, and popping up now will be some other bridge cards so you can see some other ideas there. And if you've enjoyed today and you're not subscribed, consider subscribing and hit the notification bell, and that way you won't miss out on any future videos. See you all again soon. Bye.